will be the starting quarterback in Foxborough. It appears now we have another question, and it surrounds the right hand of one of the men who might be the answer to that question. Cam Newton heard it in OTAs as he fights for the starting job with the rookie that they brought in, who is Mac Jones. This is Mike Reese, who joins us live from Gillette Stadium, covers the Patriots for us as always. Mike, what can you tell us about Cam's injury and what, if any, impact it might have on his ability to fight for this job?
Well, Greeny, very interesting because any injury could open the door for Mac Jones to possibly step in there. I'm told Cam actually came back to practice last Friday. Now, media wasn't present, but I'm told that Cam threw the ball around a little bit in that practice, and we'll see how the hand responded, Greeny. And if it responded well, they're back out on the practice field later this morning for the first day of their 3-day mandatory minicamp. And when Cam is out on the field, Greeny, he's always the first quarterback going through those reps. Bill Belichick saying he's the team's starting quarterback, at least for now.
All right, so the quarterback situation is one thing, and then the cornerback situation is another. And that's where the sneaky big news comes this morning involving Stephon Gilmore. Pick it up from there, Mike.
No question, Greeny. As a beat reporter covering the team, you look for certain things at mandatory minicamp when players have to be here. And for me, Stephon Gilmore's presence is my number one storyline. The 2019 Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. He's due a base salary of $7 million this year, which is below market value for a player of his caliber. Now, there's a reason for that. The Patriots advanced him $4.5 million of that salary last year, an acknowledgement that his contract needed to be sweetened. Does Stephon Gilmore show up? Is there a contract situation here? That's one of the first things I'll be looking for, because we know, Greeny, when a player outperforms his contract, it's the team. Do they sweeten the deal? If a player underperforms, the team can just say, see you later. So we'll see if we have a situation here in New England.
All right, Mike Reese, we'll check back with you later on that. Thank you very much, my friend. Let me bring it out here again. Swagoo and Dan Graziano, and I'll start with you. I feel like we've been talking about Stephon Gilmore being traded for quite some time now. Where does that stand?
It's up in the air, as Mike detailed. It has been all offseason. There were some that thought he could get traded in March around free agency. He was not. There are issues. Teams that are interested in him know that he's not happy with the contract, so you have to give up something to get him, and you probably have to give him a new contract, and that makes teams reluctant to part with the kind of value that the Patriots are certainly wanting. So it could go a number of different ways. They could end up trading him. They could end up sweetening his contract, as Mike mentioned. They could end up moving on from J.C. Jackson instead. There are a lot of different ways that the Patriots' cornerback situation could still shake out. Focus on Stephon Gilmore, and to Mike Reese's point, if he's not at the mandatory minicamp this week, that sort of heightens the strength of the alarm bells here in terms of whether they can count on him for the season.
Yeah, and you see a lot of the numbers there over the last few years. He was the Defensive Player of the Year in the league 2 seasons ago. So, Marcus, let me come to you. Let's try and put the urgency of this into perspective. Is Stephon Gilmore the kind of player, is he good enough that he could be the difference in putting someone over the top? Are there teams out there that could be Stephon Gilmore away from maybe becoming Super Bowl teams?
Gee, it's teams out there that become more of a contender. It's hard for me to say a cornerback can change the dynamic from you being a non-contender to a Super Bowl guy, but here's what I will say. For a defense, he can change everything.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.